I'm Logan Crawford, and right now on Spotlight, we are taking a look at children's literature. In fact, we're taking a look at two wonderful books that your children will absolutely love. Why? Because they involve a dragon. Who doesn't love a dragon? Well, I know kids love dragons, so they're going to love these books. One is called Blossom and the Dragon, and the other is called Blossom and Her Friends. They are both written by AG Sinko, and we are delighted to have AG as a guest today here on Spotlight. AG, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
As I mentioned, loved your books. The first one is Blossom and the Dragon, I believe, and that's where Blossom actually meets the dragon. Tell us a little bit about the story.
So Blossom is the adventurous type, and she's strong-willed, I'll say, in that she wants to get the best berries for her mom ever in Blossom and the Dragon. And in doing so, in getting the biggest and best berries, she goes way off the path into the forest and goes, I wonder where the path is. And then there she is, face to face with dragon.
Right. And there had been rumors in the town that there was a dragon in the woods. And then Blossom comes face to face with this dragon. And then the adventure really begins, right?
Yes. Yes.
Wonderful.
So Blossom has to convince Dragon to help her get out of the forest. Because if she doesn't get out of the forest soon, more people are going to show up in the forest. And they're not so friendly with Dragon at first. You know, they might think Dragon is trying to do her harm, and so they have to go get her. But as you can see at the end of the book, that is not the case.
Right.
She and Dragon are friends, and she actually brokers a truce between Dragon and the rest of the villagers.
What are the lessons you're trying to teach children with this book?
I think that you could be friends with anybody at your own choosing. You know, your friend doesn't have to look like you or be perfectly just like you. The other thing is that the children have the power to affect change.
Right.
And,
absolutely. And the fear of the unknown, whether it's a person from a different culture, a different race, a different religion, you know, it kind of transcends that. It's a dragon this time, but maybe the next time is a new kid who's in from a different country or something, and that person needs to be befriended, right?
Exactly.
And
So
the adventures continue in Blossom and Her Friends.
Yes.
Tell us about that one.
So Blossom and her friend Christopher, who was not born in Tigra but lives there now, so he's allowed to live there now, and Dragon have all gotten together, and they have to run an errand for Christopher. And so when they get to where Christopher's grandmother lives, people said, you know what, we used to have dragons here too, but I think we drove our dragons away as well. So once they finished the errand, the villagers of Nolam say, could you find our dragons for us, and ask them to come back. And so they do. That's the big adventure.
Gotcha. So another adventure for Blossom, this time for Blossom and the Dragon and their friend Christopher. Beautiful stories. You've worked with children for a number of years. Tell me a little bit about your experience.
I began my life as a middle school math teacher, and I really enjoy the liveliness of children. The young children I also work at a library as a with young kids, middle school kids, that kind of age group, and I appreciate their honesty. I appreciate their wholeheartedness, that they really believe things are going to be okay. And right now, when I'm not writing, I work with students with disabilities at our local college.
Wonderful. Have you been able to read the book or show the book to some of the children that you work with?
Yes, and they're all excited and they're all happy, and and they're nervous for dragon, they're nervous with the new dragons, what's gonna happen, and then, oh, okay, it's not as bad as I thought, or hey, this is cool, didn't think of it would end this way, kind of
Right.
thing.
Yeah, well, know what I liked about your books is that they have the feeling of being like a true like fairy tale. They have
Mhm.
that feeling of like a Hansel and Gretel type of thing, like a classic children's storybook. Was that your intention, or did it just work out that way?
I'm always hopeful, and I appreciate being brought up in the same breath as Hansel and Gretel and fairy tale and all of that. I aspire to do so, and I appreciate the thoughts that people have of the books, and I'm hoping that the adventures can continue at this level.
Yeah. In those fairy tales that we grew up with, like I said, the one that comes to mind, of course, is Hansel and Gretel, is that there was that sense of danger, that sense of excitement. And then there's also the morality part of it as well.
Yeah, I like to write things that have steady endings. Even if it's not perfectly happy, we'd like to know that people are okay.
Yeah.
You know,
That-
Blossom is okay with the dragon is okay with the villagers, and
Right.
and we could go that way.
Exactly.
Blossom and Dragon find the other dragons in the forest, and at first, it's dangerous, right? Because there's so many more other dragons, and they don't know Dragon from he comes from a different place.
Hmm.
So that could be that could end very abruptly and very dangerously.
Right.
And yet, at the end of the book, it's okay.
Yeah.
Everybody's okay. And
Excellent. Do you have more adventures in mind for Blossom and the Dragon?
oh, absolutely,
Okay.
absolutely,
Have you written
yeah.
them down yet? Or are they still up here?
No, I have my log lines. I have my like just the germ of the idea,
Right.
and it really takes me about 2 or 3 months of solid work to get to a first draft, and then we go from there. I have people who help me edit and things like that. Um,
And illustrations, of course, they're gorgeous.
my illustrations, I am blessed to have a cousin who is an artist,
Wow.
and she's in Hungary.
Hmm.
And so I emailed her my book, and she emailed me back the pictures. And
Nice.
so we keep it in the family, and I keep saying I'm blessed to have her. I really am.
Well, it's just so wonderful that you can collaborate with a family member, particularly a
Yeah,
family member who is overseas. She gets delight in helping the children learn. You're getting delight in helping the children learn. It's kind of a win-win for
it
sure.
is. It really is.
Absolutely. So
It is.
you're still working as a special ed teacher, you said?
Uh, I'm actually a counselor for the students with disabilities.
Okay.
Our office makes sure that whatever accommodations a special needs student needs, um, and we kind of broker the peace between the students and the teachers, students and other students. We just make sure that everybody's on the same page, and people can be successful no matter what.
And that group of children in particular need an advocate, I'd imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's very hard for when they come out of either high school or some very structured program, they come to us because they say, "Oh, it's community college." So we
Mm.
say, "Yes, but it's still college."
Right.
And there's a steep learning curve for between high school or program and then college. And so we help them navigate that.
And the community colleges are great. They're affordable. They tend to cover some of the lessons and courses that young people need to know in better detail than perhaps in a university. They tend to be a little less esoteric and a little more concrete,
Yes. Yes.
which
And
is
and I find it wonderful. I in my own youth, um, I spent time at this community college, because whatever I did not pass in the spring semester, I took in the summer school
Right.
at WCC,
Yep.
and they helped me graduate close to on time. So I have a soft spot for the college too. So
Exactly. Exactly. I was the same kind of kid in high school. I would fail the class in, I went to Catholic school. I'd fail this class at Stepanak High School. And then I would take the class again at New Rochelle High School.
mhm,
And
mhm.
sometimes I learned the lessons a lot better in summer school. They broke it down on the level that
Yeah,
a very distracted 16 or 17-year-old could focus on.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So
Absolutely. Well, your books are wonderful. Congratulations on them.
thank you.
Again, they're called Blossom and the Dragon and Blossom and Her Friends. They're available on Amazon and they are wonderful. They'd be terrific holiday presents, but birthday presents any time of year. These books would be great in your children's hands because it'll help spark their imagination as well. It'll get them thinking, it'll get them dreaming, it'll get them drawing, and it'll put them on the right path for sure. Like I said at the beginning of this interview, AG, I love dragons. If a story had a dragon in
Thank
it
you.
as a kid, it caught my attention. That's probably your experience too, that kids love
Yes,
dragons.
yes, yes, absolutely.
Yeah, they're
And
mythical, the whole idea that they can breathe fire and fly and,
mhm, exactly, exactly. And
wonderful.
they can have take you on a flight, you know, and take you on a ride for fun.
Exactly. Exactly. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us here today on Spotlight.
Thank you.
My pleasure. And to the folks at home, I'm Logan Crawford, thanking you for your time this time. Until next time on Spotlight.